Hello everyone, and welcome again to a screencast of the game from the Vilcabamba Chess Club. I played versus Cort and Remy. They were consulting with each other against me. These are both young guys, and they did a pretty good job. We started with a standard 4 knights game, the Italian variation, and here the move order was a little bit out of place, but very standard. So these are all very standard moves. The queen comes and takes. Now, notice they recognized they could gain a tempo on my queen. This is good chess on their part. So I have to go back and defend my c7 pawn from the knight. Now they've got a well-placed knight, so there's some good chess. Now this move was in preparation for a b4 push. It was also connecting their rook, so they were thinking, they were doing well here. My next move was to free up a space for my bishop to run away to. And here they over-prepared the b4 push a little bit. And they also blocked off the queen's defense of the a5 square, which I jumped into with my knight. I decided I was going to trade off this bishop. That fork would have been very, very powerful had the queen still been on d1, but after this, the queen has to be protected, and my bishop has time to run away. So now I've got 2 bishops versus 2 knights, and I know that I have to open this game up quickly. And I push the f-pawn, trying to break apart the center a little bit. And here I bring my bishop into the game. Now this queen trade wasn't really beneficial for me. I didn't need to do that, and I probably shouldn't have in retrospect. And here goes my c-pawn. This was a bad move, and it was a great move by them. Look at that. They found the check. The king check forks my bishop, and I lose a piece. The problem is, after I moved king to h7, they took with the wrong knight. Notice they now have a knight deep in enemy territory. And after I push this, they should have taken on this square with the knight to get their, so that their knights could possibly get out of that territory. So they moved here, and this was bad because I got both of my, I went up a piece after this move. This was just not a good move because I was able to come in with check. Notice I'm defended by the rook and attacking the knight, and once I take the other knight, I'm attacking the remaining knight, so that knight has to do something, and they decided to take a pawn, which is not bad. They should have taken the c6 pawn, and then after the rook took the d6 pawn, I would have had 3 isolated pawns, but they decided to go on that side, and that's fine. And then after check, I decided I'm fine if I trade, and so they decided to find a better, more advantageous way to trade. They decided they would try to trade on the on the d6 square and get their own pass pawn here. I didn't want to let that happen, so I just defended. And then they knew they had to get my bishop off that square. Now that would have been okay if they had hopped over onto the e1 square now, but instead they made the trade. And then they defended. Now here I could have just blown up the game entirely by pushing the pawn. The computer pointed that out to me. I missed it. I decided to attack the rook instead. And after this move, that was pretty much inevitable. And notice my advanced pawn here is very, very strong. Rooks belong behind passed pawns. So here I am, I'm taking this. I'm taking control of the queening square, and I'm preparing to trap the rook on e2. The king is finally coming into the game. He's a little late, and after this series of moves, they made some good moves here. This is an attempt to keep my king out of the game, so it's smart playing, and also they recognize they have the pawn majority there. But now the bishop is trapped. In fact, the bishop is actually trapped all the way back here when I played my bishop to d2. Notice because the king's right here, he's got nowhere to go. That rook is stuck. So the rest of my moves were all about forcing this trade right here. And then after I moved my bishop to c1, they resigned, and they recognized that that was pretty much the end of the game. The a, b, and c pawns of white are about to fall. They knew that my king was going to defend, with the help of this pawn, was going to defend this very well, and I've got an extra piece. They recognized this is a lost game, and we decided let's just start a new one. So good on them for that, and we're very proud of them for the chess skills that they are learning. Hopefully next week we'll be talking about your victory at the chess club. Until then, have a great week.